Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final match of the Swiss bracket between Domirae and Mikeyburger. This is going to determine the top four the top four and first place between Mikeyburger and Domirae. Whoever wins this is going to clean sweep the whole tournament. Whoever loses this is going to get anywhere between second and fourth place.
Yes, this is an exciting match. This is our last of the Swiss round, and this one's going to determine a lot of the seeding for the elimination bracket. So there's a lot at stake, not just in who wins this, but the exact score will determine the seeding, will determine matchups for the next round. So there's incentive to do as good as possible, even if not winning this one.
For sure.
Okay, Mikeyburger and Domirae have seen each other in tournament multiple times. Last year's final, I believe, was between these two.
There we go, we're starting, but I think Domirae has to go off to... Here we go, No, Dom!
Countdown has been given. We should see them restarting on Baru Coast soon. Don't know what Dom is doing, starting up Fire Mountain Rally.
Oh, he just noticed that.
Maybe he just wanted to practice the final turn, but you don't get that at the beginning of Baru Coast.
No. Yeah. Here we go. Now we have a start. About a 5-second difference. And Mike, once again, in a slideshow.
Slight over sync pause, fixing that.
There we go. Domirae in the lead. This can be dicey. This part can't really guarantee about coming out alive with how you have to scrape the walls with Ben.
Yes, and at this level of play, getting boost holds through every inch of those turns is going to make a big difference. Domirae has definitely been better at being able to boost just a little earlier and just a little longer in a lot of the places you can boost, and that's going to make a difference here.
$116. Oh man, that's insanely fast. 118 is also pretty fast too.
Yes, I noticed Dom was able to start boosting before hitting start finish and make it through that little S curve, just holding the boost. I don't think Mikey started boosting till he was most of the way through that S curve. So little things like that are going to make a big difference at this high level of play.
Yeah. And you're dealing with two of the best players ever in this game here.
Both of these players have won a tournament before. It's very clean racing from both of them. Dom's so clean around
114.
that final hairpin.
115.
It's amazing how clean they are, and they're still a second apart every lap. Dom's coming into the jungle here. Extremely clean. Barely a scrape there. Barely a scrape there. Not even a scrape there. Mikey, very similar. But Mikey not holding the boost quite through some of those areas that Dom has been holding the boost. That's going to be the deciding factor here.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be fast. 345 in tournament! Jeez! Out of 350! Oh man, what a way to start off!
That was a crazy brew coast. I still can't believe that they're almost 5 seconds apart. Both of them racing so cleanly. This goes to show why Domirae is the clear favorite in this tournament. Okay, we're waiting for a little bit of verification on the back end. Our next track will be Mikeyburger's pick. Mikeyburger has picked Adobe Mountain Run, temp banning the pod Mars Quo. So we're going from one of the hardest tracks with Ben to yet another very hard track with Ben, Adobe Mountain Run. The off-grid canyon at the end is the defining factor in this track. We'll see how they do here. They both are very capable. Still waiting for verification on the back end.
Verification true, we are now officially going to Adobe Mountain Run.
Welcome to Watto's shop, huh? Take a look around. I got
Okay, warm phase has begun. Adobe Mountain Run is such a long track. Hopefully we can get an entire lap in through the warm-up. And then we'll be off before we know it. The other major factor in Adobe Mountain Run will be the tent entrance. At this level of play, you don't expect anyone to mess up the tent entrance. There might be some bumps and scrapes, and between these two, a few bumps and scrapes can be enough speed loss to determine the match.
On this high level, I'm not so concerned so much about the 10 as the crevasse. Because at a super high level with the crevasse, you have to take it without braking, which is one of the hardest things to do in this game.
Domirae with crazy boost hold. Not sure where Dom is going here. Showing us some unexplored parts of the track.
Now this section that Dom just mentioned, this crevasse, this is probably going to be the decider at this high level because you have to take it without braking at this high level they're at.
That was extremely clean. Okay, Mikey entering the off-grid canyon. A little harder to tell since Mikey's stream is a little choppy, but it seems that he was able to pull just as clean of canyon, but his tent entrance was not. Okay, countdown has been given. We should see them restarting very quickly.
We have about a 4-second difference. Hard to tell at the moment. It's gonna be. They both know this strategy. Yikes!
That bridge is honestly a little more tricky than it looks. You get so much air you can crash into the roof. It can be really sketchy.
Oh my goodness, this is close. Let's see what happens in the crevasse they're coming up to.
Dom might just be a hair ahead, but this is close.
There we go, into the crevasse.
Taking very similar strats. I'm seeing some bumps.
Mike
from
has the
Mikey.
brake. Dom just goes straight through without braking. $117, $120.01. Ooh, grapes, but holds it.
I think that is just crazy that Dom's 3 seconds ahead. Mikey. I think we have failed to mention yet that Mikeyburger is the racer with the least deaths per race in tournament, the least likely to crash. Domirae, I would have to look at the numbers, but from his
111.99. Oh no! Mike dies.
If you take out Domirae's first tournament, he might actually be very close to Mikey in terms of going deathless, and Might see something similar today. I might have just commentator cursed Mikey. That's what King Bing Dip's reminding me of. We might just see if Domirae is immune to commentator's curse. I believe he has said in the past that he does not believe in commentator's curse. Domirae into Canyon, final time. Still looking clean. Mikeyburger, final Canyon.
342.
Also clean, but it's too late.
349.
Domirae takes another one here.
Domirae says with his crevasse hair, he wrote in, "Look, Ma, no brakes."
Sometimes this game gets criticism because there are parts where you just can't go without braking, and people are like, you shouldn't have to brake in the racing game. But that's one of the things that makes this game so much more intricate. It's a much higher skill braking, because when you need to add braking into all the million things to keep track of. Okay, next of Mikey's picks will be Abyss with Mars Guo Band, full track. We'll see how this one goes. Abyss is, I believe, universally the most hated track among everyone's first playthrough. There's a part at the beginning where if you fall down, you get to go on a little detour shortcut that loses you about 20 seconds.
Yeah, we call it the penalty lap, and I think for a lot of players of this game, this is the one track that forwarded them to beating it.
Yes, I remember when I was a kid, I got first place on every course, but this one, I don't even think I could get fourth place here. Only it was when I went back 15, 20 years later that I was able to beat this track.
I just resorted to using Bullseye and turning timid.
It will be interesting to see at this high level. One fall down would mean a loss. Heck, even one death can sometimes mean a loss at this level. There's so much that can happen here. It is possible if you fall down to climb your way back up using a little bit of a wall ride. Well, that's easiest done with Mars, who is banned and also a little slower. So at this level, they're both likely to just use Ben and be gunning it. And just depend on their skill to not fall down. No backup plan if they fall down, just gunning it. Domirae showing us a clean lap. Took multiple tries to get that though. Domirae had about 45 seconds in practice. I believe Mikeyburger just had a 53 seconds. The countdown has been given. We should be seeing restarts coming up quickly.
Here we go. Uh, 4-second difference.
Just holding my breath there. They both cleanly made through the first lap. Slightly different path choice through the platform.
Yeah.
Dom falls down. Mikeyburger stays up. Up is faster. Dom takes a crash. Mikey with some clean racing here. Mike pulling 47. Dom pulling in 53. Now, can Dom get tilted? Can he keep it clean? Dom falls down. Climbing back up. Dom makes it back up. Good save.
That's hard to do without Mars.
He's still a ways behind Mikey. Mikey making it clean through second, upper, lower. Dom as well. If anyone can claw back from this, it will be Dom, but this will be hard. I'm not even sure he can do this.
45. Let's see what happens here. Don't want to say anything, it's so tense. Oh no!
Dom takes a
Dom
bad
crashes
death.
again! Falls into the penalty lap.
He's got a chance.
No!
Double crash. He makes it back out. No penalty lap for Dom. But that has cost him quite a bit of time here.
Mike with a 218. Mike is now guaranteed at least third place.
Did Mike do an out of bounds finish? I must have missed that. I've never figured out
He
how
did
to
the out of
actually
bounds
do that
finish,
here.
and there's Dom doing it.
Does too.
There's no shutout today.
Okay. With that, Mikey takes his first race, no shutouts. Put the brooms back in the closet. We're going to Domirae's first pick, which will be Death Row's Revenge. Going from arguably the hardest already on the track to the easiest. Death Row's Revenge, smart pick for Dom. It's a very simple track, only a few slightly hard turns. It's one that he can show off his just raw skill and speed.
You come back, huh?
The donkey.
Mike restarting his game.
It's not uncommon to see. The game loves to crash and get a little more finicky, especially when it's been running for a little longer.
And Mike is particularly infamous for it.
Okay, Domirae showing us the track in practice.
Oh, here we go. Base is verified. We are now officially going to Death Row's Revenge.
It's a very relatively simple track. It's got sharp turns and long places for boost. This is what Domirae is good at, being able to get the boost in just a little earlier and hold it just a little further onto the turns. That's how Domirae was able to beat Mikey on Baru Coast. It's his strategy here. Domirae is showing us off the skip that won't be used. Domirae's confident enough, he's just messing around right now. Is he going to try to show us the other skip? At this point, I think Dom is skip hunting. Mikeyburger in practice looking very clean.
There we go. Countdown.
Countdown's been given, waiting for a restart. I believe I just saw Dom go on the right side of that pillar, and I didn't even know that was possible. It would be a shorter line, but that sounds like a very risky line.
Yeah. Have about a 6-second difference. Ooh, they're really close to each other.
Dom was just so close to that wall.
Yeah.
This looks dead even.
Off by a 1/5 of a second.
1/5 of a second.
Exact.
Sometimes I like to say at 24 frames, which is what Mikey's racing at. It's not what we're seeing. 1/5 of a second is only 2 or 3 frames. I can't do that math in my head right now.
$42.90, $42.33.
Domirae just a little ahead.
Not by much, though. $205, $206, $207. Off by just over a second. Match point for Domirae.
Match point for Domirae, which means we get to go to Mikey's final pick. Mikey's final pick will be Vengeance. No special conditions, just straight Vengeance. Still waiting for a little bit of verification on the back end.
Change your mind.
Okay, Domirae starting practice on Vengeance. Domirae always says Vengeance is one of the easiest tracks in the game.
I find it one of the hardest on 64.
That would definitely be true. I think what sets Vengeance apart, even from other Uvu tracks, I believe more than half of the Vengeance track is in the anti-gravity tube, which makes it a little different from the regular flat racing that we're used to. Even the other Uvu tracks don't have so much of the track inside the anti-gravity tubes.
Yeah, it is a... Yeah, I honestly find Vengeance on N64 harder to do than Gravine Gateway. Here we go, we're on the potentially final race of the Swiss bracket on Vengeance. I mean, there's at high frame rates you can get into your routine to do it, but it's so easy to mess it up. If you mess it up slightly, you're gonna crash.
It's interesting that Mikey would choose this one, knowing that this is a track Domirae seems to enjoy. Then again, it's very hard to pick tracks against Domirae when he holds PBs, the world records on almost all the tracks.
Holds the world record on every full track now.
Thought Boonta Training Course still had Homura or Mikey.
No, Domirae just reclaimed it.
Even though that looks like it, that was not the official start. We're still in warm-up. Part of what might make the difference here is this figure 8. Dom trying to boost through that figure 8. Mikey taking it very safe comparatively, not boosting. They're still both picking double left side. That figure 8's one of the few places in this track where there is a little bit of choice, a little bit of decision between risk and safety. Domirae showing us the track backwards. Doing this track backwards is a little tricky because there's a bump there to get into the tube. It's not recommended to try doing this track backwards. Though if you do manage to get into that tube, it doesn't undo the tube thing. So you actually do most of the race just auto steering. Countdown has been given. Should be seeing restarts soon.
There we go. Potentially final race. About a 4.5 second difference. Both with the boost hold. Let's see what goes in here. Ooh, scrapes. Domirae goes through it, all blazing.
This is gonna be tight.
Yeah.
Every little scrape's gonna count.
Not to mention just one slight error and it's over with crashing, because this track is just really, really scary. You can die at practically every point on this track. Feel like it should be on a semi-pro or galactic circuit rather than an amateur circuit track. Both hold it. We
Slightly
have
different boost
101,
patterns to the tube.
102, half a sec, 0.6 of a second off. Ooh! Go for the cog shaft. That little scrape was losing the boost. Caused it, but here's where Mike could potentially catch up with holding it.
Domirae seems to intentionally fire every time he enters the tube.
Seems so too. Ooh! 101, 101. Oh!
Mikey's only about a second behind, but that is still behind.
Yeah, but it's not by much. Oh, he scrapes it again! Dom holds the boost.
It's a hard place for Mikey. I don't see Mikey being able to take this one unless Dom crashes.
Let's see
It's
how he
just
holds it,
not-
because yeah, the good chance to do a good boost hold through it.
There's just not any place to take it more risky than Dom's already taking to try to gain pace. Dom screaming toward the finish.
Still close. 302 to a 304. We have Domirae, the clean sweep of the Swiss bracket. Mikeyburger in third.
Okay, let's... Working on verifying those results. Let's get them in here for some interviews.
Hey, Dom.
Hey. Ugh.
Hey, Mike.
GG on the match, Mike.
Yeah, thanks. And you, mate? Very good performance today.
Yeah, you had a lot of good times in there too. You went deathless, right?
No, I crashed on Derby Mountain Run.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, that makes me feel a little better given that I had 3 times as many deaths on a single track in this match as I had the rest of the races I've done combined so far this year. So,
All it took was Abyss.
gosh.
Yeah.
You know, I did Abyss earlier this year, but it was with bowls. That went fine.
You should have gone bowls. All right.
I should have, you know, I would have lost, but I should have gone bowls.
Oh man.
I was thinking about doing a challenge on Abyss. Has anyone ever tried doing a no upgrades run with what's the slowest pod? One Sandwich with the penalty lap on Abyss with fast AI. Has anyone ever tried that?
I
That
don't
sounds
believe so,
impossible.
It's hard enough without the penalty lap. I did it without.
Mike, you should do it. I believe in you.
Well, it's kind of what I had in mind today, so I'll probably give it a shot.
Love that. Make sure you get a recording of it if you actually succeed, though. I don't need that going into the abyss of the void where you just have never shown anybody.
Don't worry. If I do that one, I'll upload it.
Okay, good, very good.
I see the pun you did there.
I would never do such a thing.
I hope that was an entertaining match for everyone.
It was very good. Very neck and neck, most tracks.
I was happy that we both got sub 350 on Baru, Mike. That's got to be the first time that's ever happened in tournament.
Oh, I actually scraped outside. I was 600ths away, unfortunately.
I got a 349. Was that?
I got a 350.06.
What? Oh, you did. Dang it. I was thinking of AMR where you died. No.
I know, because when I was crossing the line, I was like, I couldn't tell if it was going to be a 49. So, but yeah.
Ah, man.
Dang
it.
I think it's still a tournament PB, though, so.
I think it is, yeah. As a matter of fact, I don't think there was better than it would it be like a 351 or something like that before today? Or I might be mistaken. I don't remember seeing better than a 351 before today, at least from anybody.
Yeah, I had a feeling Baru Coast was going to be a good race for both of us. I mean,
yeah, that was definitely really good results for that one. I was a little surprised that I picked up the pace on lap 3. I was kind of going a little slow on 1 and 2, but 3 wasn't too bad. So managed just to crawl it back down to a 345 pace because it definitely was not a 345 pace before lap 3.
yeah, I mean 345. You know, it's an okay time. You know.
Yeah, it's an okay.
Oh man, I did not expect that at all. That was a really insane time.
Yeah, that's what happens when I spent like 2 hours on Baru Coast just trying to get a 341 last night. Did not succeed because Baru Coast, but when you're pushing that hard, pulling it back by like a second per lap on just specific points on the track, it becomes a lot easier. There's like certain turns that if you just tone it down a little bit, the track is way more consistent.
Yeah. I was a bit disappointed in my Death Row's revenge time. That was a bit of an untidy race for me.
Yeah, it did seem like that would be slower than what I was expecting. By maybe like half a second slower than I would have expected for you. Something like that. A low 207 definitely would have been more within reason.
A 206 would have been nice, but kind of everything.
Would have been. When I've done DR is like one-off times when I've like played the game outside of tournament. Usually it falls between like a 206.2 and a 206.4. So I was a little disappointed not to be able to get it within that range. Not that I'm mad about a 206.5. I'm just like, I expected it to go into that time range, and I don't know what I did. I guess I just drove slow.
Shame on you, Dom.
It is a shame on me. You're absolutely right. Thanks for calling me out, Mike. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, I was also happy on AMR because finally I didn't throw an AMR time. I've been throwing away AMR times for years in tournament.
Didn't you get like a 342 or something ridiculous?
Yeah, I almost got a 341, but I didn't. I didn't have to use the brakes at all, and I didn't make any mistakes in the canyon for once, so that was nice.
I loved your little note after after you submitted the time on NW Mountain Run of, look, Mod, no brakes!
Normally I chicken out, I go down to like 6:30, and then I end up making a big mistake anyway. So I was like, why am I bothering? I'll just do the way that I have the most muscle memory. It might be the quote unquote most risky, but it's the way I've played the track the most. So is it really the most risky anymore? I don't know.
Well, it worked. Whatever.
I guess it depends how good you are.
Does it? I don't know about that, Mike. I think it just depends on what you've done your time in. At least that's my perspective. I don't know. I am curious about a couple of your picks, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
So, AMR especially. What made you pick AMR?
I just think it's a very strong track for me, generally.
Okay.
Based on all the results I've ever had on that. Yeah, it just... I just believe it's probably one of my best picks, that's all.
Gotcha.
Especially against one of you, but... I mean, it's kind of difficult picking anything against you, but, you know... Gotta pick something. And I kind of like... I just like the track as well. I enjoy playing it. I just yeah, it's a nicely balanced track with a lot of variety of different types of sections and skills required. So I just like playing that track.
It is a really good track, so I guess I can't fault you for that one. And then the other one I was curious about was Vengeance.
I was curious about this one too. I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a similar thing. I mean, the thing is with something like Vengeance is that if you'd have taken a crash there and I hadn't, I would have won. So that's one reason for picking it.
Okay.
And Vengeance is very consistent for me. I can almost always get, the same kind of times on it every time I play it if I just concentrate. So, that's kind of the other reason for that one.
That makes sense, then. I can understand that. Let's see here. I'm a little surprised that you wouldn't have gone for something like APC.
Yeah, I mean, APC is one I would consider. I don't know if it's as good as some other picks against you specifically. I think I'm probably more likely to pick that against other people. I kind of have it depends on who I'm playing as to what sort of maps I pick, and also what I've practiced recently. Like if the stuff I haven't practiced recently, then some tracks you can kind of just leave for a little while, and you can come back in 12 months and still play them okay. And other tracks, like if you don't practice them, your times can sort of diminish quite rapidly. And yeah, I think that's probably the reasons why I didn't go with that one against you. But I do like the track though. A bit like I enjoy playing APC as well. So
I just think APC is one of your better IL times. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a better tournament track. But...
Well, remember, I don't post all my best times. So.
I know. Of the times I know you have, it is the second best time in my scoring system is the reason I ask about it.
I think on the actual leaderboards, I think I'm highest on Bunter Training Course, I think. So I'm third on that.
Yeah, I don't worry about the ranks that people are when it comes to like how good of a time they have. I have a scoring system that I just put in people's times, and it automatically generates the score on that track for them. And then I rank it from top, like highest to lowest score, so that way I know what people are strongest and weakest in relative to at least the times I'm aware they have.
That's interesting. I wonder what variables you used for that to actually determine how you assess that.
I can explain pretty easily, actually. So I have 5 categories, and these are very similar to categories I've told people about before. But there's 5 different categories of times. So what I do is I do a check to see which category it falls between, or if it's better than the top category as your PB. And then all it does is it does a scale range of between the lower category and the upper category that it fits between of like the scores. So there's master, elite, intermediate, amateur, novice. Master's 100, elite's 80, intermediate 60, amateur 40, novice 20. So if you are like dead in the middle between a master and elite time, then you're going to get a 90, right? And if you're faster than the master time, all it does is it just scales based off of how much faster you're than the master time. So it takes the master divided by your actual time and multiplies it by 100. So if you're faster than master, you're going to get a score over 100 relative to how much faster than you are than master. So how good I consider that your track to be is relative to where you fall within those categories, which generates the scores. So people have different ranges and different abilities, and this means that I don't have to pay attention to what rank they are or what time they have until I look at how good they actually are relative to my own scoring system.
Interesting. That makes sense, actually. Yeah. And your picks were pretty interesting as well. I mean, Death Rose Revenge, I expected. Bunter Classic Skip. Were you trolling me on that or what?
Trolling you? What? No. So I'll walk you through. I'll walk you through my logic. So the first one of the 4 that I picked was DR. The reason that I picked DR is because I was very groggy when I woke up at 10:45, and I wanted to give myself extra time to wake up. So if I lost on Baru Coast, I wanted an easy track to warm my hands up on.
That's fair.
So I picked DR to give myself that opportunity to kind of wake up a little bit. I did end up forcefully waking myself up by exercising for 15 minutes and then just forcing a lot of breathing. But anywho,
have you not had much sleep?
No, I got 3.5 hours of sleep.
Oh, so kind of average for you then.
Yeah, that's fair. Bunta Classic Skips is because when I was looking at your full track times, your Bunta Classic time, despite being a good time, was lower on the lower end of the scoring because Bunta Classic just has so much time save. And I doubt it's your actual PB, but I still use the times I know of because they're at least close enough to give me a frame of reference. They don't have to be perfect.
Okay. I mean, I always think it's interesting when the same player picks exactly the same pick, because that suggests each player believes that they have somewhat of an advantage on that particular pick.
Yeah,
I mean.
It's kind of funny.
So,
yeah,
it's interesting to hear.
Yeah, so Bunta Classic, the time I'm aware that you have is a 452.451 on full track. So even if you have a 449, 448, it really doesn't change my opinion all that much. It does change it a little bit, but not a super large amount. And the skips version of it is a way more consistent version of Bunta Classic that still has the same fundamental skill checks in it and knowledge checks in it. And so I consider Bunta Classic Skips you take the full track, but make it more consistent for at least me. And so it just moves it into a higher level of advantage. I think the same thing of Sebulba's Legacy Skips. If I notice somebody has a bad full track time on Sebulba's Legacy, I'm going to pick the Skips version of the track because I think the Skips version is easier than the full track version. But I know they're still bad at the track because of their full track time. And they're not going to just magically be a bunch better the skips version, right? They have the same fundamental flaws either way, but I'm more consistent on that pick. Grabvine is Grabvine. I just pick it because I want to. I know nobody ever wants to let me play it, but I always pick it because I want to. There's no logic behind that one. And
That's
then the last one that I voted for was Inferno. And Inferno is basically the same logic as Bunta Classic, which is just that it's a bit lower on the scoring that I have for you. And I know that track ekes out a lot of time-saving small things, which I know I'm more likely to succeed in those small things than other people. So it's just a good track pick compared to the tracks that are below it. So that's really my entire logic behind it. Now, it didn't come to fruition because I have apparently woke up, but you know, there was a risk. There was a risk of me not waking up in time. Could have completely thrown on Baru Coast.
I think I could have got an extra point. Never mind, eh?
I was kind of hoping that I would get to play Bunta Classic, honestly.
Oh, you could have just lost the race deliberately on purpose.
Could have intentionally thrown. I could have just gone for the boost hold through the figure 8 on Vengeance, inevitably died on like lap 2 doing it, and then lost that race. So I could have done Bunta Classic. But nobody would have thought anything of it because I would have been going for a risky option. I could have just played it off. Unlucky.
I wonder what this
Maybe
means
next
for the seeding for the single elimination now.
The bracket has
do
already been updated.
It's already been updated. It's going to have the first matches of the single elimination. You're going to face King Bean Dip Dom. That's going to be Nate Man versus Metallica, Homura versus Radiant, and Mike, you're going up against Exodipt.
Seems like some good matches.
These will be some interesting matches. Some of them look a little one-sided, but I expect everyone to be able to take at least one race off their opponent. Except maybe not King Bean Dip. We'll see about that one. I wish you good luck.
Much appreciated. Yeah. Again, great job on your times today, Mike. It's fun playing against you as it always is.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
look
Dom.
forward to hopefully seeing you later in bracket.
Hopefully.
If you see each other in bracket, it will be the final again, just like last year.
Oh, joy.
You sound excited, Mike. Well, yeah, but thanks for today. It was a fun time. Appreciate you guys doing commentary too.
You're welcome.
It is a pleasure.
Yeah. GG's, Dom. Well done.
Yeah. GG's.
Good luck, everyone. May the force be with you.
May the force be with you. Thank you to SpeedGaming for allowing us to do the tournament here. Thank you for all the organizers. And thank you for the racers.